Alright, folks, let me ask you something. Have you ever picked up a penny off the ground, shoved it in your pocket, and thought, meh, it's just a penny? Well, what if I told you that you might have just walked past a $1.80 million fortune? Yep, you heard me right. Today, we're talking about the legendary 1966 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, and why this little copper beauty could change your life. But first, before you go dumping out your piggy bank, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We've got tons of tips on rare coins worth big money, and trust me, you don't want to miss out. Alright, let's dive in. So, let's get down to business. What makes this 1966 Lincoln penny so crazy valuable? Unlike most pennies, this one has no mint mark. Now, before you say, wait, my pennies don't have mint marks either. Hold up. That's true for a lot of 1966 pennies, but the super rare ones have something extra special, a unique strike, a rare die variety, and a flawless condition that collectors go nuts over. The US Mint didn't use mint marks in 1965, 1966, and 1967 as part of an experimental period to discourage hoarding. But somehow, this rare variety of the penny is now a collector's dream. Alright, let's talk money, because that's why we're all here, right? The current market value of a high-grade 1966 no-mint mark penny? A jaw-dropping $1.80 million. That's not just life-changing. That's I'm buying a yacht and naming it penny kind of money. But wait, before you go retiring early, let's talk reality. The everyday 1966 penny in your pocket? Probably worth a penny. But if you find one in mint, untouched condition, with rare errors like a double die, off-center strike, or a full red copper shine, you might just be looking at a serious payday. Rare errors, like doubling in the lettering or Lincoln's face looking like he's got a twin. If you think you've found the winner, get it checked out by a professional coin grader. Because let's be real, if there's even a chance that penny is worth $1 million, you don't want to take any risks. Now let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I found an old jar of pennies in my grandma's attic. I spent hours going through them, dreaming of a jackpot coin. Found a 1966 penny, thought I hit it big. Turns out, it was just a regular penny. But it got me into coin collecting, and now here I am, helping you spot the real treasures. So hey, no loss. So, what did we learn today? Not all pennies are just pennies. That 1966 no-mint mark Lincoln penny could be hiding in plain sight, and if you're lucky, it might just make you a millionaire. If you've got some old change lying around, start checking. And before you go, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We've got more money-making coin tips coming your way, and trust me, you do not want to miss out. We're talking about the 1968 no-mint mark penny, why it's so rare, and how you might just strike it rich. Alright, let's get into the juicy details. Most US coins have a little letter on them that tells you where they were made, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and no letter usually means Philadelphia. But here's the kicker, number 1968 pennies were supposed to be missing a mint mark unless they were from Philly, yet a few sneaky ones slipped through. That's what makes these coins so rare. Some collectors believe these pennies were a mistake made at the San Francisco Mint. A few 1968 cents somehow left the facility without that little S mark, and when it comes to coin collecting, mistakes like these are like winning the lottery. So, what should you look for? If you find a 1968 penny, flip it over and check if it has a D or an S. It's cool, but not retirement level cool. If there's no mint mark at all, and the coin looks suspiciously old school, you might have just hit the jackpot. Of course, before you start planning your dream vacation, you'll want to get it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Trust me, nothing ruins a $1 million dream like realizing you just got excited over a regular oil penny. Okay, so how do we know this penny is worth $1.6 million? Because one of these bad boys was recently auctioned off for that amount. One lucky collector walked away with life-changing cash for something most of us toss in a jar. The value depends on the coin's condition. If it's in mint, uncirculated condition, that's where the big money comes in. Even a slightly worn one could still be worth thousands. So start checking your change. Now, let me tell you about the time I thought I found a rare penny. I was at my grandma's house, going through an old coin jar, when I spotted a 1968 penny with no mint mark. My heart nearly exploded. I was already planning my private island, until I realized it was just a regular Philadelphia mint penny. Moral of the story? Always double-check with an expert before quitting your job. Who knew something so small could be worth so much? Now it's your turn. Go check your pockets, your piggy banks, and your grandparents' coin jars, because you never know when you might find your own $1,000,000 penny. And hey, if you love learning about valuable coins and hidden treasures, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a tip on how to turn pocket change into serious cash. Let me know in the comments, what's the most valuable coin you've ever found? I'd love to hear your stories. We're diving into the world of the 1978 D Mint Mark Lincoln cent, a coin that some claim could fetch up to $1.8 million. But is there any truth to this? Let's find out. Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts. Welcome back to Coin Quest, where we uncover the hidden treasures jingling in your pockets. I'm your host, and today we're on a mission to separate fact from fiction about the 1978 D Lincoln penny. First off, let's talk about the 1978 D penny. Minted in Denver, over 4.2 billion of these copper-clad coins were produced. That's right, billion with a B. So, finding one isn't exactly like spotting Bigfoot. Now, you might have heard rumors swirling around the internet about this penny being worth $1.8 million. I hate to burst your bubble, but that's about as likely as finding a unicorn in your backyard. In reality, a typical 1978 D penny in circulated condition is worth, drumroll, please, 1 cent. Yep, face value. However, if you have one in pristine, uncirculated condition, you might be looking at a value between $1.22 and $23. Not exactly retirement money, but hey, it's something. USA Coin Book. But don't give up hope just yet. The real treasures lie in the errors. Coins with minting mistakes are the darlings of collectors. For example, a 1955 double-die penny, where the design is accidentally stamped twice, can fetch a pretty penny, pun intended. CoinValueChecker.com. So, what should you look for? Common errors include off-center strikes, doubled dies, and repunched mint marks. These quirks can significantly boost the coin's value. I remember the time I found a 1972 double-die penny in my grandfather's old coin jar. I thought I'd hit the jackpot. Turns out, it was worth about $700. Not bad for a penny, right? So, grab a magnifying glass and start inspecting those pennies. Who knows? You might just find an error coin that's worth more than its weight in copper. The US Sun. Remember, while the 1978 D penny isn't your ticket to millionaire status, the world of coin collecting is full of surprises. Keep searching, stay curious, and who knows what you'll discover next. We're diving into the crazy world of rare coins and how one little 1979 D Lincoln penny went from pocket change to life-changing fortune. So, if you're a coin collector, a treasure hunter, or just someone who wants to turn a penny into a limbo, stick around. First, let's talk about the D Mint mark. The D stands for the Denver Mint, which is where this penny was struck. The 1979 D pennies are usually nothing special. I mean, they're about as common as dad jokes at a barbecue. But there's something very unique about this particular one. So, what makes this coin rare? Well, it turns out there's an extremely rare error, what's known as a double die averse. That means the front of the coin was struck twice, creating a slight doubling effect in the lettering, especially around Liberty and the date. It's like the penny had a few too many cups of coffee and got a little shaky. Now, most people wouldn't even notice this. It's like finding a 4-leaf clover in a field of regular old leaves. But collectors? Oh, they go nuts for these types of errors. And here's the kicker. Only a handful of these pennies are known to exist. That's rarer than a quiet toddler or a Wi-Fi connection that never drops. And when one finally hit the auction block, bam! $1.9 million. Just like that, a tiny copper coin turned into a massive payday. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I found a 1979 penny in my old piggy bank. I was so excited, thinking maybe I had hit the jackpot. I rushed to check it under a magnifying glass, and guess what? Nothing. It was just a plain oil penny, worth, well, 1 cent. But hey, that's the fun of it. You never know what treasure might be hiding in your pocket change. So, what's the lesson here? Check your change. You could be holding on to something way more valuable than you think. If you find a 1979 D penny, grab a magnifying glass and look for that doubling effect. Who knows? Maybe you'll be the next person to turn a penny into a fortune. And hey, If you love videos about coins worth big money, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We've got tons of tips on how to find valuable coins, mistakes that could make your change worth thousands, and all the secrets coin collectors don't want you to know. We toss them in jars, lose them in couch cushions, and let's face it, sometimes just ignore them on the sidewalk. But what if I told you that one tiny penny, just like the ones you probably have lying around, could be worth, wait for it, $1.50 million? Yeah, you heard me right. A little oil 1980 Lincoln penny with an O mint mark just might be your golden, or should I say copper, ticket. So before you start flipping over all your pennies, let's talk about what makes this little guy so valuable. Now, normally, US pennies minted in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark. But what makes this particular one so special? Well, my friend, it's all about a rare error, one that collectors go absolutely nuts for. Back in 1980, something went wrong at the US Mint, and a small batch of pennies was struck with a mistake so rare that collectors would sell their grandma's vintage vinyl collection just to get their hands on one. Okay, maybe it didn't happen exactly like that. But the point is, mistakes at the mint mean big money for collectors. And this 1980 no mint mark penny? Oh boy, it's the cream of the crop. One of these bad boys recently sold for, wait for it, $1.5 million at auction. That's like a mansion, a luxury car, and a lifetime supply of avocado toast all in one. Alright, so how do you know if you're sitting on a potential fortune? First, check the date. If it says 1980 and there's no little letter under the year, like a D or S, then congrats, you've got a no mint mark penny. But before you start dreaming of swimming in gold coins like Scrooge McDuck, remember, not all 1980 no mint mark pennies are worth a fortune. The condition of the coin is key. Collectors want these pennies in pristine condition. Think shiny, no scratches, and no signs that it was once used to scratch off a lottery ticket. The more flawless, the higher the value. Funny story, when I first heard about this, I went full-on treasure hunter mode. I dumped out my entire coin jar, my grandma's coin purse, and even begged my friends to let me check their pockets. Spoiler alert, no million-dollar pennies, but I did find a quarter from 1965 that was almost worth something. Moral of the story? Keep looking, because you never know. So, what's the lesson here? Check your pennies. You might just be sitting on a life-changing jackpot without even knowing it. And hey, even if you don't find that elusive $1.5 million penny, at least you'll finally get rid of that jar of loose change. Win-win, right? If you love learning about rare coins that could make you rich, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on these money-making tips. Who knows? Your next trip to the gas station might just end with $1 million discovery. Now go check your pennies, seriously, go. What if I told you that a simple, everyday penny could make you a millionaire? Yeah, you heard me right. A single 1982 penny, no mint mark, recently sold for a jaw-dropping $1.60 million. Now, don't go running to your piggy bank just yet, stick around, and I'll tell you exactly what to look for so you might just strike copper gold. Alright, let's break this down. In 1982, the US Mint decided to switch up the game. They transitioned from making pennies out of solid copper, which was getting expensive, to a copper-coated zinc composition. But here's where it gets interesting. Some pennies from that year ended up with a mix of both old and new materials, and a very special era coin, the 1982 no mint mark penny on a solid copper planchet, is the one that made history. Here's a little hack to spot one. Copper pennies weigh about 3.1 grams, while the zinc ones are only 2.5 grams. So if you've got a 1982 penny that feels a little heavy, cha-ching, you might be onto something. Now you might be wondering, how the heck does a penny go from being worth, well, a penny, to $1.6 million? Well, that's the magic of rare coin collecting. The scarcity, the history, and the condition of the coin all play a role in the price tag. Collectors will pay big bucks for rare finds, especially when they're in pristine condition. True story, I once spent an entire weekend sorting through pennies after hearing about a rare one worth thousands. Found nothing but lint and broken dreams, but hey, at least I can say I tried. Moral of the story? Don't sleep on your spare change. So, the next time you get a penny in your change, don't ignore it. Give it a quick check, you never know, you could be sitting on a fortune. And if you want more insider tips on valuable coins, make sure to smash that subscribe button and hit the bell so you never miss a money-making opportunity. Let's turn your spare change into a jackpot, one coin at a time. We're diving deep into this valuable 1-cent wonder. Alright, so let's break it down. Why in the world would a 1985 penny be worth $1.7 million? Is it made of solid gold? Did Abraham Lincoln personally sign it? Nope. It all comes down to mint errors, rarity, and collectors willing to pay big bucks for something unique. You see, the 1985 penny is pretty common. Millions were made at the Denver Mint. But, and this is a big but, there are a few of them with a major mistake. And we all know, in the coin collecting world, mistakes are worth a fortune. The rarest of the rare 1985 pennies have something called a double die error. This means the design, specifically Lincoln's face, the date, or the lettering, was stamped twice by mistake. If you look really closely, zooms in dramatically, you might see a weird shadowing effect or extra lines that shouldn't be there. If you find one, congrats, you might be sitting on a gold mine. Now, don't go running to your piggy bank just yet. Let's talk about how to check if you have the penny and what makes it worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million. Grab a magnifying glass. No, not the one you used to burn ants as a kid. Get a legit coin loupe. Step 2. Check for doubling in the lettering or date. Step 3. If you think you have one, get it authenticated by a professional. The Professional Coin Grading Service (PCGS) or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation (NGC) can confirm if you've struck it rich. And if you don't have one? Don't cry just yet. There are plenty of valuable pennies still out there waiting to be found. Okay, real quick, funny story. A while back, my friend told me about rare pennies being worth thousands. So naturally, I spent an entire weekend dumping out every single jar of pennies I owned. My living room looked like a bank exploded. My cat? Traumatized. My significant other? Questioning my life choices. But hey, you never know. And honestly, I still check my change every time I go to the store. One day, it'll pay off. So, what's the moral of the story? Don't ignore your pocket change. That little coin jingling around in your car cup holder could be your ticket to millionaire status. If you've got an old penny, give it a closer look. You never know what treasure you might be holding. And if you want more tips on coins worth crazy money, collecting strategies, and hidden treasures in your pocket, make sure to hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin. Who knows, your story might be featured in my next video. We're talking about a 1989 Lincoln cent that's worth a mind-blowing $1.9 million. Yep, you heard that right. A penny. 1 cent worth more than a Ferrari, a mansion, and probably my entire life savings combined. So grab your piggy banks, check your couch cushions, and let's find out why this little copper beauty is worth a fortune. So what's the deal with this magical penny? The 1989 Lincoln cent is usually found with a little D for Denver or an S for San Francisco if it's proof. But some rare ones? No mint mark at all. And this isn't just any error, it's a result of a US mint mistake where a Philadelphia die was accidentally used, creating an ultra-rare version of the coin. And collectors go nuts over rare mistakes like this. Imagine digging through your pocket change and finding one of these bad boys. That's better than winning the lottery, and you didn't even have to buy a ticket. Alright, so why would someone pay nearly $2 million for a coin that was literally made to be worth 1 cent? Well, it's all about rarity, demand, and condition. The 1989 no mint mark Lincoln penny is like the unicorn of pennies, super rare, highly sought after, and only a handful are known to exist. If you've got one in mint condition, meaning it looks like it just left the factory, collectors will throw serious cash at you. And by serious cash, I mean the kind that makes you rethink ever paying for coffee with change again. Moral of the story: stop using pennies for gum at vending machines. You might be literally chewing away a fortune. Alright, so how do you know if you've hit the jackpot? Step 1. Find a 1989 Lincoln cent, check your change jar, your old coin collections, or even that pile of pennies sitting in your car's cup holder. Step 2. Look for the missing mint mark. If there's no D or S under the year, you might be onto something. Step 3. Condition matters. If it's scratched up like it just survived a war, it's not going to be worth as much. But if it's shiny and pristine, my friend, you just hit the jackpot. A few years ago, I heard about rare pennies being worth big bucks, so I spent an entire weekend sorting through every penny I owned. I'm talking hours of squinting, Googling, and second-guessing my life choices. And you know what I found? A whole lot of absolutely nothing. Just some sticky pennies that had been in my car for way too long. But hey, at least I tried. The point is, you never know unless you check. Someone out there is sitting on a $1.9 million penny and has no idea. Don't let that be you. So, what's the takeaway here? Check your pennies. You could be walking around with millions in your pocket and not even realize it. And if you find one, don't just spend it on a pack of gum. Get it verified by a professional coin grader. Trust me, it'll be worth your time. And hey, if you love learning about coins that could make you rich, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because I've got more money-making coin secrets coming your way. Also, drop a comment below if you've ever found an interesting or rare coin. I'd love to hear your stories. 2013 No Mint Mark Lincoln Penny, a little copper coin that's making big waves in the collector's market. Grab your piggy banks, dump out your couch cushions, and let's see if you have a millionaire penny sitting around. Alright, let's get into it. The 2013 No Mint Mark Lincoln Penny looks just like any ordinary penny. It's got Honest Abe's handsome profile, In God We Trust up top, Liberty on the side, and the year 2013 at the bottom. But here's the kicker, an No Mint mark. That means this bad boy was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. So, what makes this one different from the bajillions of other 2013 pennies? Well, some of these pennies were struck with a rare error that makes them incredibly valuable. The exact details of this minting mistake are still debated among collectors, but let's just say if you find the right one, you're in for the payday of a lifetime. And before you ask, yes, one of these babies has already been valued at $1.7 million. That's not a typo, folks. I mean, who knew a penny could be worth more than my entire car? And before you say it, yes, my car is held together by duct tape, but still. So, here's what you need to do to see if you've hit the jackpot. Step 1. Check for a 2013 Lincoln penny with an No Mint mark. Step 2. Look closely under a magnifying glass. Any strange doubling on the letters or numbers? Unusual marks? Slight off-centering? These are all clues. Step 3. If you think you have a rare one, do not, I repeat, do not spend it. Take it to a professional coin grader like PCGS or NGC to verify its authenticity. Because let's be real, no cashier is giving you change for $1 million penny. Okay, quick story. I once thought I found a super rare coin, and I got so excited I called my entire family. My mom, my grandma, my cousin's neighbor's dog, everyone. Turns out, I was just looking at a super dirty penny. The disappointment? Unreal. But hey, at least I learned how to properly check my coins. And now I'm giving you the tools so you don't embarrass yourself like I did. So, what are you waiting for? Go dig through your pocket change. That vending machine penny might just make you a millionaire. And if you want more crazy coin collecting stories and tips on spotting valuable coins, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join me on this wild money-making adventure. 2021 D. Lincoln Cent. You think, just another penny, and toss it back. But wait! What if I told you that this tiny copper coin could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.50 million? Yes, you heard that right! A 2021 D. Lincoln penny has been making headlines in the coin collecting world because of a crazy error that turned this everyday coin into a small fortune. And today, I'm breaking down everything you need to know, including what to look for, how to check your pennies, and how you could be the next lucky person to cash in big. And trust me, you're gonna wanna stick around, because I've got a personal story that will make you never look at pocket change the same way again. So, what's the big deal with the 2021 D. Lincoln penny? Well, this isn't just any penny. This bad boy has an extremely rare die error, something that happens when the coin is struck incorrectly at the mint. And collectors go absolutely bonkers for these mistakes. Misalignment or off-center strike, major cracks or cuds, chunks of metal missing or added from the die, wrong metal composition. Some may have been mistakenly struck on a different planchet. Now, imagine someone finding one of these, taking it to an auction, and walking away with over $1 million richer. That's exactly what happened recently when a lucky collector's 2021 D penny, with a crazy mint error, sold for $1.50 million. Can you believe that? That's life-changing money for a single penny. Okay, quick story time. A few years ago, before I got into coin collecting, I had this old-looking penny from my grandpa's change jar. Thought nothing of it, and brace yourself, I spent it on a bag of chips. Yep. Years later, I got into coin hunting and realized that penny could have been worth thousands. Face screaming in fear. Moral of the story? Check your change, people. Alright, so how do you find one of these valuable pennies? Simple. 1. Look at the date and mint mark. It has to be a 2021 penny with a D, Denver Mint, below the date. 2. Check for errors. Use a magnifying glass to spot any doubling, cracks, or odd markings. 3. Weigh it. If it's not the usual 2.5 grams, it could be a rare composition. 4. Get it appraised. If you think you've got something special, take it to a professional coin dealer or submit it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Clapperboard. So there you have it. That little copper coin in your pocket? It might just be your ticket to $1 million payday. Who knew pennies could be so powerful, right? Face with tears of joy. Now, before you go tearing through your piggy banks, do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you never miss out on more hidden treasures hiding in your pocket. I'll be back with more tips, tricks, and crazy coin stories.